Hey guys, in this video we're going over thoracic rotation exercises. To begin with, for half kneeling thoracic rotations, we're going to start in a half kneeling position with the knee directly underneath the hip. Starting with your hands in line with your shoulders and in front of you, we're going to take one arm and rotate as far back as we can while watching the hand. When you've reached that limit, then you're going to come back into the middle and go into rotation with the other side. Make sure you do an equal amount on both legs. If you've never done any rotation work before, I'd advise to take this nice and slowly, and also pay particular attention to your knees, whether they are moving side to side as you rotate, suggesting you could have tightness pulling down the chain. Next, we're moving on to a kneeling thread the needle. Start with your elbows underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. On the way down, we will thread the arm underneath the other arm as we're aiming to get our shoulder to the floor. And as we're coming up, we're going to place our hand on the back of our head and get the elbow as high as we possibly can. You can try to imagine that you're getting your elbow in line with the other shoulder. Next, we're doing the exact same exercise, but in a one-sided adductor stretch. Just make sure that your foot is in line with your hip, not behind or in front of you. Next, we are moving on to thoracic archer rotations. You're going to get a roller or a yoga block to place under your knee so that your knee can stay in line with your hip to try to avoid too much hip rotation. You're going to drag the top hand across your bottom hand and slowly bring the scapula back and rotate using your thoracic spine back the way, aiming to get the back of your shoulder to the ground. You're also going to focus on keeping the elbow nice and close to your body. And if you've never done anything like this before, I can link a video here for a full tutorial on how to do a thoracic archer rotation. So with these banded half-kneeling rotations, we're simply grabbing a light band, holding it on our knee and bringing the other arm around just like we did in the beginning of this video. So moving on, we're doing a half kneeling windmill. You can begin this without a weight if you've never done anything like this before to see how your QL reacts. And also, as you can see here, I'm just going down to my hand to begin with to see if I can handle this movement. And then if you feel like you have extra range, you can go lower down and go onto the elbow. And remember, if you're using a dumbbell or a kettlebell, always make sure that you are watching it if it is overhead, because it's quite easy to wobble around and then end up falling, the hand falling behind you. With this as well, just make sure that your hand is also in line with your shoulder, so it's helpful to actually video yourself when you're doing it to make sure that you're not actually compensating and you don't have that perhaps shoulder rotation or flexion to do this, and therefore your arm isn't exactly directly in line with you. Next, we're moving on to standing windmills, which you can do with a slight tilt with your feet if you need to, and again, working first on seeing where that range is without a weight and just touching the ground. If you do find this particularly difficult, you can also use a step and use a lower range of motion. So next we're moving on to standing hinge thoracic rotations. Here you get into a hip hinge position and then thoracically rotate as you bring one arm up, aiming to get the hand in line with the other shoulder. So last but not least, we are doing a banded half kneeling windmill. To begin with, we're going to create tension on the band by bringing the hands out the way. You're going to be aiming for the floor with your shoulder rather than just the elbow this time, and also explore the range of motion you have. So don't force the full range straight away, just play around with how far you can go and how far you can go comfortably with control. So in the beginning, aim for the shoulder in line with the knee, and then you can start pushing and trying a little bit further down. I hope you guys found that useful. If you did, please subscribe. Also, head over to our website to get a free copy of our ebook.